So in this video, we're going to take a look at breaking down this Armature Super 2 AFX armature. As you can see here on the upper right hand side, the plate has been damaged. I purchased this armature online, and this is how I received it. And so it appears that at some point in its lifetime, someone had either broken a wire and was trying to reattach it and either cut off this tab where the wires connect, or it broke off at some point, and they just shortened up the wire to reattach. So the plate itself is actually in really good condition in terms of wear, other than missing this tab. You'll also notice that the armature in the middle, the very center of it, is drilled pretty close to center. A lot of these first generation Super 2 armatures were drilled off center, and so given that this one is so close, I wanted to try to save it. It's nostalgic, and do my very best to try to put it back together as close as I could to original. Right now I'm trying to remove the solder and break these wires down without breaking them any further. It's important to note that they get very brittle as they get older. So doing this very delicately, very gently is super important. Just heating the solder up and trying to grab a hold to the very end of the wire and very gently unwind it. Now on this particular pole that I'm working on here, this connection, this is where it looked like it had tried to been repaired once before, and I think a couple of the wires had broken off. On the Super 2, you've got 4 wires that attach on each terminal, 2 from the preceding and 2 from the following posts that will run over, so a total in 4, and the one that was broken only had a couple on it. Now that we've got them desoldered, it's time to attempt to remove the plate itself from the armature. Now with Super 2s, more so than the original mean greens or the red armatures, these tabs are bent over pretty good, and so sometimes you can bend one just a little bit and wiggle it loose and it'll come off of there, but because of the center hole is so tight around the shaft there that you have to, inevitably with these, you have to bend more than one, sometimes 2, sometimes all 3. Here I'm just taking a look at it. Could I wiggle it out of there? It doesn't appear to be moving, so let's go ahead and bend some of these other posts. Now before I go just pulling this plate off, I'm going to do one final inspection just to make sure that all the wires are detached. It already appears we have some broken wires here, so we'll take a little further investigation on that in a minute, but we don't want to add insult to injury and break any more further. So let's give it a little wiggle here and see if we can get it off. Yep. And there you can see where the damage is on the back of the plate as well. Now to inspect these wires a little further. Well, we got the plate off. We can see that the wiring around it actually looks to be in really good shape. Generally, Super 2s with the super thin winding wire that they have on them, if they go through a lot of heat cycles, the wire will discolor a lot. It'll turn darker. This appears to be relatively bright, which tells me that the damage occurred early on in its life and it just didn't get used a whole lot, which is good for us because the more heat cycles they go through, the more brittle the wire becomes. Here we're just taking a look to make sure all 4 wires are in this conglomeration here that's all soldered together. They appear to be. And they didn't come off the plate very easily or together. So now we're just taking a look and see if we can true this up to see if there's one actually broken that's looped back around, or whether it just separated when we desoldered it from the plate itself. Again, just making sure all 4 wires are there. We don't see any additional breaks anywhere. It looks like they're all there. They just got separated, so we'll just get them back a little bit closer together for now. I'm sure that in the process of doing any repairs, we'll bump them a few times here and there, but just want to kind of get them together so we know what's what. Anytime you've got solder on the wires itself, it's again a heat, and then also having the solder on there, they become very brittle, easy to break off. I can't tell you how many I've broken, and before this is over, it's a good possibility I might break some more. So we'll continue to be very gentle within the inspection process here. Now we're on the side that actually had the damaged comm plate, so we're trying to figure out if all 4 wires are here and present. It appears we've got 2 right here on this little short set of wires. Now we're trying to find the other 2. Your standard red armatures and green armatures, they're typically just a single wire wind on each pole. Super 2s, they went with a smaller wire to get more winds, tighter winding, and also a lower ohm, and that lower ohm gives it a very quick acceleration. We did find the other 2 wires that are supposed to loop over the armature there. Now the question is, what do we do about these short wires that are broken? So there's a couple of things we can try to do. First, we're going to take a look and see if we can get a little more slack out of them. Every once in a while, you can just tweak the wiring coils a little bit, get enough room, and sometimes pull out some wire from underneath. Very rarely is that the case, but it has happened. So right now I'm trying to just create a little room in there because the wiring is overlapped. But again, you have to be very gentle and careful with these. If you're not, you could actually break one of the winds on the inside, and then that requires a complete rewind of one or both poles, depending on which wires you break and how many. So here we're putting just a little gentle pressure on the wires, put a little pull on them to see if we can coerce them to come out. You could get them to come out a little bit. Potentially you could just unwind a single coil and get that additional slack out of it. But they're not budging, they're tight. So I think we'll take a look and see if there's some other methods that we could use to salvage this armature. And hopefully we'll see that on the next video clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos. That way you're alerted when the new ones come out as we continue this repair project to try to salvage this Super 2